Well, our last scene ended with Mrs. Hardcastle coming back to the stage looking very worried, and the son saying that she's looking like a Catherine's wheel. Confusion, thieves, robbers, we are cheated, plundered, broke open and done. Mrs. Hardcastle is very worried, very upset, talking about thieves and robbers. What's the matter? What's the matter, Mama? Tony says. I hope nothing has happened to any of the good family. The mother, we are robbed. My bureau has been broken open. The jewels taken out and I am undone. Oh, Tony said, was that all? Ha ha, by the laws. I never saw it acted better in my life, he called. I thought he was ruined in earnest. Ha ha. So Tony knows the jewels are missing. But he had told his mother to pretend that the jewels are missing. So he has taken a stand that he thinks his mother is pretending. He says, Ma, you acted so well. Why, boy, I am ruined in earnest. My bureau has been broken open and all taken away. Stick to that. Ha ha. Stick to that. I'll bear witness, you know. Call me to bear witness. I tell you, Tony, by all that's precious, mother jewels are gone and I shall be ruined forever. Sure, I know they're gone, Tony says, and I am to say so. My dearest Tony, but hear me, they are gone, I say. By the laws, Mama, you make me for to laugh. I know who took them well enough. Ha ha. And he is cool. He is keeping that stand that he is pretending, that his mother is pretending. Was there ever such a blockhead that can't tell the difference between jest and earnest? Jest is a joke. I tell you, I'm not in jest, boy. That's right, that's right. You must be in a bitter passion, and then nobody will suspect either of us. I'll bear witness that they are gone. Was there ever such a cross-grained brute that won't hear me? Can you bear witness that you're no better than a fool? Was ever poor woman so beset with fools on one hand and thieves on the other? I can bear witness to that. Bear witness again, you blockhead you, and I'll turn you out of the room directly. My poor niece, what will become of her? Do you laugh, you unfeeling brute, as if you enjoyed my distress? I can bear witness to that. Do you insult me, monster? I'll teach you to vex your mother. I will. And then she's trying to hit him, so he runs. I can bear witness to that. And he runs off. And then mother is gone, son is gone, and mother is gone running after. Then we have Miss Hardcastle and a maid of the house. What an unaccountable creature is that brother of mine, to send them to the house as an inn. Ha ha! I don't wonder at his impudence. So the maid must have spoken to her and told her that the reason why Marlowe and Hastings are ordering everyone about is because they think that this is an inn. So they should be ordering. He says, no wonder how stupid this Tony of mine is, his brother. What is more, madam, the young gentleman, as you passed by in your present dress, asked me if you were the barmaid. He mistook you for the barmaid, madam. Now she was wearing a plain and simple dress, and he hadn't seen Miss Hardcastle face to face, so he asked the maid, is she another maid? Did he? Then as I live, I'm resolved to keep up the delusion. Tell me, Pimple, how do you like my present dress? Don't you think I look something like Cherry in the Bow stratagem? So she says, don't I look like, a smart girl in there's some book or some play in a young man's plots, stratagem is plot. Don't I look like Cherry in that? Like a barmaid? Don't I look? It's a dress, madam, that every lady wears in the country, but when she visits or receives company. Like a home dress. That when she's not having guests, then she wears it. Are you sure he does not remember my face or person? So Miss Hardcastle wants to know. Certain of it. I vow, I thought so. For though we spoke for some time together, Yet his fears were such that he never once looked up during the interview. And indeed, if he had, my bonnet would have kept him from seeing me. So Miss Bonnet is thinking he didn't look at my face, then I had a cap, so he could have not seen my face. Wow. But what do you hope from keeping him in his mistake? The maid is surprised. Everyone wants to look smart, and here the mistress wants to look like a maid. In the first place, I shall be seen. And that is no small advantage to a girl who brings her face to market. So he didn't look at me, at least now he'll see me. Then I shall perhaps make an acquaintance, and that's no small victory gained over one who never addresses any but the wildest of her sex. It looks like this man only, talks to maids. So he says, at least I'll know him, I'll make friends with him. But my chief aim is to take that gentleman off his guard, and like an invisible champion of romance, examine the giant's force before I offer to combat. So she says my plan is to actually find out who he is, to take a measure of him before I even offer to battle. Am I, willing to be seen and appreciated, willing to marry him? I must see who he is. So if I'm not what he thinks I am, he'll be off guard, he'll be frank, he'll share himself. But you are sure you can act your part and disguise your voice so that he may mistake that as he has already mistaken your person? The maid is, still curious. She says, madam, will you change your voice? Will you sound like a maid? Never fear me. I think I've got the true bar cant. I can talk like a barmaid. Did you want to call? A 10 lamb there, pipes and tobacco for the angel. The lamb has been outrageous this half hour. So she just, picks up a few sentences that the barmaid might have to say, and ordering pipes for some and a glass for someone. It will do, but he's here. And quickly the maid goes. So Marlowe comes alone and Miss Hardcastle is on the side. Put a bawling in every part of the house. Bawling is shouting and screaming. I have scarce a moment's repose. If I go to the best room, there I find my host and his story. If I fly to the gallery, there we have my hostess and a curtsy. I have at last got a moment to myself. And now for recollection. So let me think. He walks up and down. Did you call, sir? Did you want to call? As for Miss Hardcastle, she's too grave and sentimental for me. Did you want to call? She's standing in front of him. No, child. Besides, Marlowe is continuing, from the glimpse I had of her, I think she squints. Squints is like if your eye can't see straight. I'm sure, sir. I heard the bell ring. No. I've pleased my father, however, coming down. And I'll tomorrow please myself by returning. And he's reading something. Perhaps the other gentleman called, sir? I tell you no. I should be glad to know, sir. We have such a parcel of servants. So she's trying to, get him to notice her because he's busy talking and thinking to himself. No, I tell you. He sees what a pretty girl she is. Yes, child, I think I did call. I wanted... Wow, child, you're vastly handsome. And then Miss Hardcastle is simpering. He's noticed her. He's seen that she's pretty. Oh, la, sir, you'll make one ashamed. Never saw a more sprightly, malicious eye. Yes, my dear. I did call. Have you got any of your, what do you call it, in the house? No, sir. We have been out of that 10 days. Now, Marlowe doesn't give a name of what he's wanting, but quickly, in case it's something difficult, quickly Miss Hardcastle says, for the last 10 days we don't have it. One may call in this house, I find to very little purpose. Suppose I should call for a taste, just by way of trial, of the nectar of your lips. Perhaps I might be disappointed in that too. Nectar? Nectar? There's a liquor there's no call for in these parts. French, I suppose. Now, nectar is another word for honey. He said, can I have a nectar of your lips? He means, can he kiss her? But she is deliberately misunderstanding him and saying nectar may be French. We sell no French wines here. Of true English growth, I assure you. Then it's odd I should not know it. We brew all sorts of wines in this house, and I've lived here these 18 years. 18 years? Why, one should think, child, you kept the bar before you were born. How old are you? Oh, sir, I must not tell my age. They say women and music should never be dated. To guess at this distance, you mustn't be above 40. And then he says, yet, nearer, I don't think so much. By coming close to some women, they look younger still. But when we come very close indeed, and he actually tries to put his arm round her and kiss her. Pray, sir, keep your distance. One should think you wanted to know one's age, as they do horses, by the mark of a mouth. Now, Kate had told her father that she finds Marlowe very dull and timid and shy. So she's challenging his boldness. So she says, it looks like you want to kiss her, just like they check the horse by looking into his mouth and his teeth. You want to look into my mouth and you want to kiss me? I protest, sir, child. You use me extremely ill. If you keep me at this distance, how is it possible you and I can ever be acquainted? And who wants to be acquainted with you? I want no such acquaintance, not I. I am sure you did not treat Miss Hardcastle that was here in this terrible manner. I'll warrant me before here, you looked dashed and kept bowing to the ground and talked for all the world as if you were before a justice of peace. So, she's just challenging him, reminding him of the cool way he had treated Miss Hardcastle. Egad, she has hit it sure enough. In all her child, ha ha, a mere awkward squinting thing. I find you don't know. I laughed and rallied her a little, but I was unwilling to be too severe. No, I could not be too severe, curse me. Oh then, sir, you're a favourite, I find, among the ladies. Yes, my dear, a great favourite. And yet, hang me, I don't see what they find in me to follow. At the ladies' club in town, I am called the agreeable Rattle. Rattle, child, is not my real name, but one I am known by. My name is Solomons, Mr. Solomons, my dear, at your service. Now, he doesn't want to give her his own name in case she ever talks about it. Hold, sir, you are introducing me to your club, not to yourself. And you are so great a favourite there, you say? Yes, my dear, there's Mrs. Mantrap, Lady Betty Blackleg, the Countess of Sligo, Mrs. Longhorns, Miss Biddy Buckskin, and your humble servant. Keep up the spirit of the place. Then it's a very merry place, I suppose. Yes, merry as cards, supper, wine and old women can make us. And the agreeable Rattle, Miss Hardcastle says. Gad, I don't quite like this chit. She looks knowing, methinks. You laugh, child? I can't but laugh to think what time they all have for minding their work or their family. So she tries to cover it up. She says, they're all laughing in the club. When do they work at home? All's well. She don't laugh at me. Do you have a work child? I sure that there's not a screen or quilt in the whole house. But what can bear witness to that? Or so? Then you must show me your embroidery. I embroider and draw patterns myself a little. If you want a judge of your work, you must apply to me. He says, show me your embroidery, I also do some. And that's a strange admission to make, and he quickly holds a hand. Aye, but the colors do not look well by candlelight. You shall see all in the morning. And she's struggling. She says, no, you want to see embroidery, you must see it in the morning. At candlelight, the colors won't be good. And why not now, my angel? Such beauty fires beyond the power of resistance. And he's trying to hold her because again he wants to kiss her. She's a beautiful girl, mustn't leave her. Sure, the father here. My old luck. I never nicked 7 that I did not throw ace, 3 times falling. I've got very bad luck. If I got a 7 in cards, then I'll make some mistakes after that. And Mr. Hardcastle is surprised there is his daughter, and that man was trying to hold her. And Manu goes, so madam, so I find this is your modest lover. This is your humble admirer that kept his eyes fixed on the ground and only adored at humble distance. Kate, Kate, art thou not ashamed to deceive your father so? Now, Kate has been playing a maid, so she doesn't want to tell her father that. Never trust me, dear Papa, but he's still the modest man I took him for. You will be convinced of it as well as I. By the hand of my body, I believe his impudence is infectious. Didn't I see him seize your hand? Didn't I see him maul you about like a milkmaid? And now you talk of his respect and his modesty? The father is quite angry. Look at her. She's also becoming bold like him. Says his modesty is his modesty looks or boldness is infectious. He was shaking you about and holding your hand. But if I shortly convince you of his modesty, that he has only the faults that will pass off with time and the virtues that will improve with age, I hope you'll forgive him. So it seems that she is liking him, so she says he has some faults that will pass with age and some virtues that will improve with time. So father, if I prove that to you, will you forgive him? The girl would actually make one run mad. I tell you, I'll not be convinced. I'm convinced he has scarce gone 3 hours in my house and he has already encroached on all my prerogatives. Encroach, you have heard this word often in the papers. Take, advantage of or take over someone else's property or place or rights. So he says he's taken all my privileges. Prerogatives are privileges. He's sitting by the fire, ordering the house. You may like his impudence and call it modesty, but my son-in-law, madam, must have very different qualifications. So, I ask but this night to convince you. You shall not have half the time, for I have thoughts of turning him out this very hour. Give me that hour then, and I hope to satisfy. Well, now let it be then, but I'll have no trifling with your father. All fair and open. Do you mind me? I hope, sir, you have ever found that I consider your commands as my pride, for your kindness is such that my duty has yet been inclination. So very humbly, cleverly, smartly says, Father, I've always been so proud of you. You have been so good to me that whatever I have done willingly. My duty has been my inclination. It often isn't. We have to do many things that we don't like to do. But the girl tries to pacify her father by this show of humility. And she's a smart girl, uses the words with care. I want to keep you happy, father. I love to do that. And so I won't cheat you or fool you. And they make this pact. She says, I promise, even if you give me 1 hour, I'll prove that this man is not as bad as you think. And so we come to the end of this class, and on our next turn, we will do act. So, God bless you all. Keep reading.